All right, ladies and gentlemen. Again, testing out a new program. If you can see me, and I'm just kind of waiting to see if my feed pops up, which it looks like it is not, and I'm not understanding why. Oh, no, there we go. All right, so a little bit slower than what I expected or what was going on with another app that I tried, but hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adrian Broussard, and I am here with It's Me Technology Firm. And I just wanted to talk about data recovery versus data protection. So, yeah, I had basically a fellow photographer or someone recommended me on Facebook to someone because they were asking, can anybody do data recovery on a hard drive? Now, there are some situations where we can recover data, which is like if your hard drive is not necessarily bad, but your operating system failed on you. But in terms of, the drive actually being bad, you need a professional data recovery. We don't provide those services. Those can be very problematic. You need like a dust-free room. It's a lot that goes into it, and we just don't have those capabilities. So, um, but it costs a lot of money to do data recovery. Okay. So just kind of want to talk about that here and you know, um just hoping I can give you all a little bit of, insight on this. So let's go ahead and start off by just kind of looking up and seeing how much data recovery is, right? So data. All right, so we're going and we're just looking at some of these. We have file savers, 3D forensics, New Orleans data recovery. So let's see. Let's go ahead and click on their site. All right, I've actually seen this little shop. They're on Ferret. All right, let's go to their website. Okay, data. Okay, wow, that's a little bit much. I'm sorry, that was very intensive. Y'all can hear that. They had some music playing on their website. Whew, okay, that was very intense. So now the problem with most places, they are not going to give you prices. And as I look on here, da 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 da, technicians. Okay, here we go. Your privacy is our number one priority. We have never had a single data breach. We don't plan to. Privacy is even more important than getting back your data. Our technicians happily comply with HIPAA and NDA agreements. Uh, okay, we offer premium service at an additional rate of $125 an hour for one-on-one data recovery consultation during these sessions. So that's not even for the data recovery, that's for a consultation. During these sessions, you are or a representative of your company make work with a data recovery technician or oversee the entire process. So if the consultation is $125, how much is the actual service? Um, yeah, that's crazy. Let's go back and see again. Data recovery. Okay. And it's been a long time since I've had like data loss because I am a firm believer in data protection versus data loss. And yeah, see, this is what I was expecting. They have what looks to be like a dust-filled room that they deal with. And again, can we find prices? See, nobody wants to give prices because this tends to be expensive. Most hard drive recovery places or data recovery places that I know charges upwards of $1,000 or better. So we could request a quote and get, they say, a free estimate. But yeah, a lot of these places don't like to give you um, pricing. Okay, here we go. Cheap hard drive data recovery. $300 per drive, any SSD, $300 flat free, any hard drive, $300 to $500. Again, just not all that clear. So I don't want to spend too much time, but I just wanted to kind of give you some perspective on how much data recovery can cost. And again, we can also do a search on data recovery cost, right? So the hourly rate for data recovery professionals in the US typically costs anywhere from $100 to $300 per hour, depending on the location, skill, and educational background of the engineer. Okay, so $100 to $300 an hour. So you can imagine you're going to come out spending a very pretty penny if you have to get some data recovered. And there's just so many different ways of preventing this, right? So many different ways. And we'll kind of go through a few of them here. All right. Now, let's start off with the simple, right? The simple way is to back up your drive to a flash drive, thumb drive, all the same thing, USB drive. So, okay, USB thumb. All right. So here are some pictures of some different flash drives. All right. These are flash drives, thumb drives, any of these will work. Now, the thing about these is you physically have to move the file from one place to another. Now, we as human beings, we get caught up in day-to-day activity and things like that. So sometimes we can kind of forget, to move your files. If I've been working on something all week and I haven't backed up all week, and let's say I started on Monday, but on Friday my computer crashes, I've lost a whole week's worth of work. Let's say it's a project that's been going on for a full month and I haven't saved, and at the end of that month, my computer crashes. I've lost that whole month's worth of work. So for those of you who are very diligent, more power to you because I'm not one of them. So I signed up for an online backup service, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But as of right now, you can see all these different flash drives, and you can basically see, you know, they're very, very simple to use, and I'll actually show you. So here we have a typical flash drive, right? And I can go ahead and plug this in and the thing about it, I don't know if you can see, but that's a blue little interface, which means it's USB 3 capable. I'm going to plug that into my USB 3 port because USB 3 is much faster than USB 2 or 1. And what you'll see here, this is actually a USB boot disk, but we're not going to worry too much about the files that are currently on there. But just know that if you plugged in a blank USB drive, this is what should happen. You should get a pop-up like you just saw there. Okay, now this one has a name to it because I did some formatting, but it could be called PNY, it could be called SanDisk, it could be called all these different things, right? So once you identify what drive it is, and so for us, it's going to be the letter I, right? So here we have our desktop, our documents, I'll downloads, and I'll just go here to documents. Now, these are all documents that are located on my computer in my profile. So let me go ahead and explain what a profile is. When you first set up your computer, you have to put in a user ID, a password, and you set up what's known as a profile. Everything you do in the computer is located in your profile. Your documents, your pictures, your videos, all that stuff is typically saved in your profile, especially if you're using this left-hand side to kind of browse and do things. Now, you can save outside of that if you're saving to the root of C. Now, what do I mean by the root of C? If I click the C drive, if I were to save anything right here, this is outside of the user profile. The user profile is located in the users folder, which is located right here. So if we open up the users folder, you'll basically see there's a public, and there's always going to be a public, and then there's AJB3, which is me. So, and if I open that up, you'll see this mimics what's over here. So downloads, documents, all these different things. Excuse me. So with that said, if you save anywhere in any of these folders, it's going to save within that user profile. Okay, so let's go ahead and get out of that and let's go back to documents. So again, we have a document, and let's use this one. This was a regular little PDF. Now, if I wanted to back this up to a flash drive, USB drive, thumb drive, or even an external hard drive, because the rules are the same when you plug it in, just think of that as a bigger version of a flash drive, right? I have to either right click, copy, right? And then come to my, my flash drive, and then right click again and paste, right? And now you see the file here. So that means I have two copies, right? One on my desktop and then one on my flash drive now. So we see the flash drive here with the Carter Dupree Best Buy receipt. And if we go to documents, we see that it's also right here. So what I just did was I did a copy, which duplicates the item from my computer to the flash drive. Now, what if you did a cut? Okay. Let's go ahead and pick something else and do It's Me timesheet. So if I do a cut and I come to the flash drive and I right click and do a paste. Now it's on the flash drive, right? Because we see here it's the I drive. And if we come up back to documents, well, that file is no longer on or in the documents folder, which means it's no longer on my computer. So the difference in between cut and copy, right, is that with the copy command, you make a duplicate, which means basically you have one copy on your computer and one copy on your flash drive or USB drive. But when you cut it, you're physically moving it from one destination to another. So you're physically moving it from the hard drive to the flash drive. Typically, you want to have a duplicate of items, because if you lose the flash drive or whatever, you have a copy on your PC. If the PC crashes, you have a copy on your flash drive. So that's kind of the thought process behind having a backup that way. Now, the thing about flash drives, they do get pretty big now. Like, I think they get up to like 256 or whatever. Let's see. I don't have to guess about these things anymore. We have Google, right? So let's go ahead and quickly see. What's the biggest flash drive? And I need to go back to all. Okay. So basically they're saying the biggest flash drive right now is a 1 terabyte capacity flash drive. That's actually pretty big. Okay, so I wonder how much that costs. Excuse me, my throat is kind of dry. But yeah, that's pretty big. So That's pretty interesting. I didn't know they go that big, but that's a decent size. That's why I'm so impressed because you could really back up almost everything on your computer. Most people nowadays have small solid state drives, and I'll probably will touch on that in a little bit. What are solid state drives versus regular hard drives? But for right now on the flash drives, yeah, you can get one of these and you can back up your data. But as you can see, you physically have to copy that data. And just to kind of put things in perspective, right? If we go back to our drive, so we have all these different folders, we have files. We would have to copy all this and paste it into the flash drive. Then I would have to go to my downloads folder, and I would have to copy all this and paste it in my flash drive. Then I would have to go to my desktop. I would have to copy all this and paste it in my flash drive. As you can see, that could be real aggravating to do on a day-to-day basis. Like I would not want to have to do that on a day-to-day basis. Okay. That could get pretty aggravating real quick. Okay. So, we talked about the flash drive. Now, I have an external hard drive, which again, these can get up to, I think, a couple terabytes. I think this is a 2 terabyte drive, but this is an external hard drive. It's really small, really compact. You can stick it in your purse or something like that. And they just get a little bit bigger than what even the flash drives get. So that's another option if you need more space, right? But okay, so now let's move on to one of the cloud features, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and close this out for right now, and let's go ahead and open what I want. Yeah. All right. Let's see Google Drive. Now, if you have a Google account, you get a certain amount of storage on Google Drive for free. Okay. So let's go ahead and click on Google Drive. And you'll see here I have all kind of different things, all kind of different folders, all kind of different files. Now I pay for a little bit extra storage. I think I pay either $2 or $10. I think I upgraded to the $10 one. So it's like $10 a month, I think, and I get 115 gigs of information that I can store online, right? So that comes in handy. Why? Because now this is the thing about this. So when I upload to my Google Drive, and it is the same concept now. So I would have to make a file to folder. I can make a folder called pictures and stuff like that. I can make a folder called documents. And, I would have to copy and paste those files into Google Drive. Now, if you notice down here, they say get Drive for desktop. You can install the Google Drive or Google Desktop application. Well, it will create a folder here in your folder structure. You would actually see a Google Drive folder in here. So then what I would do is I would make a documents folder, a music, or pictures, or whatever folder that I'm going to be using. I would put it into that Google Drive folder, kind of just like you see this Dropbox folder right here. I could make those, and Dropbox is the same concept. So I can make documents, pictures, videos, folder, or whatever in there. And then I would have to drop the corresponding stuff into that folder. Now that would back up my data, but also it would give me the ability, let's say you're doing something for school or work and you forgot it. You're in a rush, you rush out and you forgot your computer, forgot your flash drive. It's like, oh geez. Well, if you have Google Drive and you had been saving your stuff to Google Drive, all you have to do is get to where you're going, get on a computer, and you could then log in and retrieve your files because it's located in the cloud, right? And all the cloud is basically somebody else with hard drive space, and they're letting you use their hard drive space. That's all it is. Now there are some other applications of cloud where you can put programs and stuff on the cloud. We're not really getting into that. We're talking about cloud storage. All right. So with the fact that we're talking about cloud storage, this is what cloud storage is. So that is the benefit to using a Google Drive or a Dropbox or a Microsoft OneDrive. That's the pro to using that over a flash drive. Okay. And then the next one that I would like to talk about, and I'm not getting paid for this. This is just something I use. I It's just awesome. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. So I'm going to share it with you guys. www.carbonite.com. Don't want to go to the login necessarily, just the site. All right, Carbonite. So to protect your home, right? And for most people, it's just one main computer that you're trying to back up, right? So if you just have one computer, I want to show you how inexpensive this is, right? So for one computer, and look how simple they make it. They pretty much walk you through it. I have a single computer. I have multiple computers. I have one or more servers. Um, but here we go. Single computer, $6 a month. So you're telling me for $6 a month, you wouldn't take the ability to have your files automatically backed up? Now that's the benefits of this one. It will automatically back up all of your files. You don't even have to think about it. So basically, it goes through the initial backup is pretty huge and it can take a few days. But after that, it'll only back up the files that it see changes in. So let's say you go in and you edit a Word document, it'll flag that file and say, hey, so and so made changes to this document. We need to go ahead and update this document to the backup site. And it does this by putting little green dots or little orange dots. The green dots mean that the file has been backed up. The orange dots mean that the file is flagged to be backed up. Okay, but look, you can even do a trial. They even give you a trial. Now, I don't know exactly how long a trial is, but let's go to buy now. But if you want to pay it out for the year, all right, it's $71. $71.09, so $72. $72 for protection against a whole year. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to remember every day, every week, every month to go ahead and move files from one spot to another. It automatically does it for me. That's what I need because I have too much going on in a day. I tend to forget things. I have 20 million things I'm worrying about being in IT from, orders that are going on, people's passwords. It's just like, it's so much to remember. Anything that I can offload, especially for something as inexpensive as that. I mean, what can you say? So, and there are others out there. There's CrashPlan. There's a few other ones. Google Glacier, not Google. Amazon. Sorry, Amazon Glacier. So do your research on them. See which one you like. This is just one of my favorites. So this is my go-to. Um, and it's different scenarios, right? Because when you have more data or multiple, there's some different things to kind of consider. When you have multiple computers, there's different things to consider because then it can start getting kind of pricey. And there would be another option I would kind of go with if it was multi computers. So let's move from the home and talk about if it were a business, right? So if it were a business, and let's say a business had, I don't know, 5 computers or so, that would start adding up to cost you a pretty penny if you did $71 per computer. But what good practice is to save all of your files to a centralized place and have that place backed up. Okay. So let's talk about what a NAS is. NAS, Network Attached Storage. Okay. All right. So of course they think I'm talking about the let me go ahead and spell it out. Network Attached Storage. because they think about they think I'm talking about the rapper Nas or Nas, however you want to pronounce it. Um, okay, so let's see if we can get the Wikipedia. Okay, is a file lever server connected, blah 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 blah. Okay, I'm put this in simple terms. I don't think we need to kind of go through all that. Basically, NAS is a network attached storage system. It is a group of hard drives that have been clustered together to provide redundancy, and it can save you a lot of heartache and pain. And as of right now, I do not. I have redundancy because I have two hard drives, but I am not actually running a RAID. I used to be running a RAID. I got lazy on it and kind of let it go. That was my fault. But I had a little mishap because of it, and I lost the drive. And I said I'll never do that again. So I'm actually in the process of ordering a new NAS. Okay. Now, in order to talk about NAS, we also have to talk about RAID. Okay. Okay, redundant array of inexpensive disk or drives. All right. Now, I want to see if they kind of give us like a brief description. And you can see how I'm just looking this up, right? I'm just going to Wikipedia and just looking up what these are. So you can come here and you can see the different levels, but this is what I want you to see is what the actual different RAID levels do. And the RAID that I'm going to be going with is a RAID 6. But if you're on a budget, I would definitely say go with like a lower level RAID, maybe like a RAID 5. For instance, a RAID 5, you need a minimum of 3 hard drives. And basically what happens is you lose one of those drives, right? Not in the physical sense of you lose it, but one of those drives gets used for something called parity, right? And what parity allows you to do is recover a drive even if it fails. So if one of the other 2 drives fail, then you can recover the data. It'll kind of rewrite the drive. So let's say it fails, you pull it out, you slap another one in, and then it will rebuild the drive. Well, I'm going to do RAID 6, which then you need a minimum of 4 drives to start off with. And I'm going to have 2 parity drives. So I can have a maximum of 2 drive failures at any given time, which is highly, highly unlikely. And, basically, I'll have redundancy. And what it does, it kind of meshes all those drives together. So I'm going to have a total of 4 drives. 2 are going to go to parity. So, and I'm going to go with 12 terabyte drives. So roughly, I'm going to have 24, 24 terabytes of storage off of 4 drives. Now, the drive unit that I'm going to get is a Synology. Okay. Now, this is a basic Synology NAS. Okay. Also stood for network attached storage. I'm just going to say that to kind of get you used to understanding what that is. Okay. Now, right here, you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 drive bays. So this one can have up to 4 drives, which means you can definitely do like a RAID 5. You can probably do a RAID 6, but I wouldn't want to just have 2. With this, I would probably do a RAID 5, sacrifice one of the drives, and have 3 drives for my data. Okay. But with that said, why is that important? Well, number one, if a drive fails, you can just put another drive in and it would rebuild itself. Number two, you could have this backed up to a cloud. So then let's say you had 5 people in the office that were doing work and stuff like that. Then all you would have to do is have those people save their important documents and stuff like that on this drive, right? And once they save everything to this drive, you have that one drive backed up to the cloud versus having 5 other devices backed up to the cloud. So it saves you a drastic amount of money. Okay. Now, the one I'm going for, and yeah, it might be a little bit ridiculous, but I'm going for the big boy, which is this one right here. So, and I'll be starting off with 4 terabyte drives. The first two will be parity, which means those will be recovery drives, and then the rest of them will be full drive. So, that'll be like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 12. Well, let's just say 10 times 12. That's 120. So I'll have 120 terabytes once I fill it up. And I'm not going to be filling it up right off the bat. That's why I say I'm just going to start with 4 because 12 terabyte drives are kind of much. And I'm probably going to go with the Seagate Iron Wolf drives. As a matter of fact, I know I'm going to go with the Seagate Iron Wolf drive to start off with, but you don't have to start this big. You know, you can definitely go with something much smaller, much more affordable. Now you have the 2 base systems, which like this one also does 4K transcoding, video transcoding. So if you want to run like a Plex server or something, I'm guessing. Um, see, this one is a 4 bay, and let's see how much this one is. All right, so just to kind of put some perspective on things, remember, if you lost a drive, you could literally be spending thousands of dollars, right? Because you saw earlier, we brought it up and basically said anywhere from $100 to $300 an hour you could be charged for data recovery. Okay, so it's a little bit of money up front, and I get that. But look here, there's one for 379 PC Nation. So you buy that. Now you still have to buy the hard drive. So roughly by the time you finish, depending upon how big the drives are, you could spend you could spend upwards or close to $1,000, or you could do something small, right? You could get some 2 terabyte drives. So then you would have 2, 4, 6, 8 terabytes, right? You don't have to go big like I am because I do photography, videography, and IT stuff. So I'm chewing up a lot of data. Okay. Normal people, on the other hand, who are just doing documents, you do not have to do that. Okay. So now another great thing about this is that you can do site to site replication. So if I got 2 of these boxes for business, right? If we had a natural disaster and say maybe the first business was on the first floor and got wiped out, but the second business was on the second floor, they would still have all of their data because it's replicating between those 2 devices. Okay. So yeah, it's got some really, really awesome features. Really, really awesome features. And if you're wondering how much is the one that I'm going to get, well, um, let's see. Because I'm going to be investing in a lot of equipment and stuff, you know, I have been and am going to invest in a lot of equipment for photography, videography, and stuff like that. I'm going to need some serious storage. So this one is about 1,500. So again, this may be overkill, but I'm chewing up data like crazy. So, but you don't have to, of course, go this high, and it's all about just doing your research. But personally, I feel like if you do the data protection method, you don't have to worry about getting that spike or that upfront cost. Like you can plan out building this thing out and take your time and do what you need to do. And then if something fails, you have time to gracefully, save your money and get something else versus if your drive fails on you and it's just a single drive, you're just stuck, right? So option one, right? We go back. Option one is the flash drive. All right. Simple flash drive. And I'm going to include, well, no, let's make it option two. Option two is a external hard drive. As you can see, this is just USB as well. Okay. Option 3, what did we say option 3 was? Option 3 would be a Google Drive, or which we talked about here. You can see my storage space and stuff over here. I have 45.3 gigabytes of 115. And yeah, so that would be option number 3. And we could say it's Google Drive, you have Dropbox, you have OneDrive. And see, I'm using all of these things just because I have to know what they do and how they work for my clients. So I'm using a lot of different ones. But here, $19 for 3 terabytes, 15. Oh, because it's 3+ users, so it's probably 15 for 3 users. Okay. And you get 5 terabytes. And if you get advanced, which is $25 at 3, so roughly, I guess that would be a minimum of $75 a month, as much space as your team needs. Which, if you use a lot of data, that's pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. And then what's the last one? OneDrive. Sorry, y'all. I do not have corona or anything like that. My allergies are just kind of messing with me. I went in the backyard today. All right, and OneDrive is a Microsoft Office product, as you can see here. And it's basically just like Dropbox or Google Drive. So you can get just the OneDrive for $199. You get the basic for free. So you get 5 gigs for free, which is awesome if you're like a student or something. I mean, documents are nowhere near. Okay. And they're nowhere near. They're kilobytes, which is like kilobytes, megabytes, then gigabytes. So yeah, that's awesome. That's the equivalent of a free flash drive and a free online flash drive where you can move and recover and get your files like anytime you need. And then finally, you have your Synology NAS. Now, this can be for home, this can be for work. Because let's say you have multiple people at home, you have some people do movies and stuff like that they download. Some people download music, books, all kinds of stuff. So, they'll have a Plex server where they're serving up stuff to their family and friends in terms of movies and stuff like that. So there's a lot of reasons why you can have a NAS. But there's all these different sizes. You can even do something like this, which is really not bad. Look at that. Now you won't be able to have a RAID. I think maybe RAID 0, which is not redundancy. I think it's just I think you get performance out of it, but not necessarily redundant. But you can look up the different RAIDs. Let's see. RAID 0 consists of striping but no mirroring or parity. Yeah. So RAID 0. Compared to a span volume, the capacity of a RAID 0 volume is the same. It is the sum of the capacities of the disks in the set. Okay, so you don't get parity and you don't get basically the rebuilding of the drive if one of them fails. In a RAID 0, basically it'll give you the total amount of disks. You don't lose a disk for parity, but if one of those disks goes out, you basically lost the disk. So that's why, to me, that it doesn't even make sense. So I would typically go with like a RAID 5 or a RAID 6. You could possibly use some of the other ones, but it's situational and when you would use them. But if you have a question on RAID, give me a call or whatever, we can talk about it. So I'm sorry, I should have checked back in. I see Mr. Anderson. jumped in. Miss Williams, how y'all doing? If y'all got questions, feel free to jump in. But yeah. All right, y'all. So I think we've kind of gone over everything. Oh, I wanted to just quickly see how much this one was. Wow, I didn't actually expect it to be that much. But you know what? At this point, I'm almost tempted to say you can go ahead and get like a Western Digital. Yeah, if you're not gonna get, I'm gonna say at least three. I think Synology may be a little bit overpriced. Like if you're not gonna do the RAID features and stuff like that, they can be a little bit overpriced. Um, I'm looking for the Passport. Western Digital. There we go. So yeah, if you don't need something that big, look, you can see the little passports, get you something like that. And then I also think they have the Western Digital Cloud. Yep, there you go. So look at that. Massive storage up to 28 terabytes. You can get you something like that. Look at that, My Cloud series and at 150.99. So again, you definitely just want to make sure you have some redundancy, which just means a duplicate of what you have. And that'll give you some peace of mind, folks. So I hope this has been informative for you all. And this is Adrian Broussard with It's Me Technology. And yeah, I will catch y'all on the next session. I am trying to get a routine down, but this is new to me, the whole recording and YouTube and Facebook and all this. I mean, I've been doing Facebook for a while, but trying to get a schedule down pat is really hard because I don't have a lot of time. A lot of my time is spent doing research and implementing things at home and behind the scenes. So I can go out into the client and get it in because I'm self-taught and I do a lot of homework and things on my own. So, but for everybody who tuned in, I appreciate y'all. Again, if you have questions, leave them in a comment. And, if you want to have a live session, hit me up and I can actually invite you in and we can have a live discussion on whatever your topic is. So don't be scared. There's no stupid questions. We're just here to help everybody. We're going to keep this positive and we're going to, basically try to help and uplift. So I hope everyone's staying safe and God bless y'all. Peace.